Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another tutorial. Oh, okay, it's working. Welcome to another tutorial. This is So with Oma, also known as Oma Ideal Luxury. Here we come live once in a while to share how to draft and cut beautiful styles. And today is one of those days. And yeah, let me put off the fan. I think it might affect the mic, the audio. It will affect the audio. So I'll just keep the fan one place. Stop it from rotating. Okay. Um. So yeah, just like the thumbnail and the um topic here, we're making a silhouette dress and it's draped. So today we're going to learn how to draft and cut it. I'll be making use of my pattern paper, and there are two ways, right, to achieve this particular style. And I'll be showing us how to draft them, how to cut them. Okay. So just to save my paper, right, I'm going to make use of one paper, like two in one, right. So I'll be drafting the two methods using one paper. So I'm not going to be working with an accurate measurement, okay? But of course, when you want to sew for your clients, you can use their measurement, or if you want to make it for yourself, you can use your own measurement. Okay? So let's go into the tutorial proper. So the first thing I want to do is, like I said, I'm making use of this, so I would like to share it into two. Okay, I want to share it into two. um I'll be needing my paper tape. Oh my god, please pardon me, let me quickly get my paper tape. I think I left it at the other side. Welcome. Let me quickly get my paper tape so that we can start, right? Okay, I have my tape. Welcome back. So I have my tape. You'll be making very important because we'll be doing the slash and spread. Please give this video a thumbs up, like the video so that more people can join. Hi Alvaro, hi, welcome to the live. So I'll be using this paper, right? I'm making use of this paper, so two in one. So the first thing I want to do is to just divide it equally so we can start with the first one. Okay, so all right, so I'll get my paper scissors, working with my paper scissors. So time up using showing my face. So it's time to show the working. Okay. So using my paper scissors, I'm going to cut this into two. Like I said earlier, I'm not using an exact measurement, okay, because I want to manage this paper. So something went wrong there. So I'm dividing into two, okay. So this first one is, I'm not going to fold. I'm not going to put it on fold. I'm going to do singly, and yeah. Sorry, let me do this well so that you can see clearly. Can see clearly. Okay. Trying to place it well so that it is very visible. I don't want any parts missing. Okay. Alright. I hope this is better. Okay, I think this is better. Alright, so like I said earlier, I'm not making use of an accurate measurement. I will just use a measurement in my head, okay? So like I would always do, I would get my baseline, and I usually used to leave 1 inch. So but for this style, I think it has like a turtleneck, right? So you can actually do a cut together turtleneck or an attached turtleneck. Okay. So if you're doing a cut together turtleneck, you're going to leave about 2 inches. Usually turtleneck is about 1.5 inch. That's cut together, right? Built up turtleneck. So it's about 1.5 inch. But if you want to cut it on your, if you want to draft it, you're going to leave about 2 inches, okay? So let's just do that. Let's just assume that this is, but the neckline is not what we're here for, okay? The neckline is not what we're here for. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I want to make this really fast because I'm doing the two methods. So I've marked my shoulder. I'm bringing it down. Okay, so like I said, I'm not using an exact measurement. So I've marked my shoulder. This is the full length. So let's assume that from this point to this point, right, is the full length to the end of the paper. So I'll bring it down. Let's just assume that this is my shoulder, right? I'm using a shoulder 10 divided by 2, 5. So I'm going to get that here. Connect like so. Connect this way. Okay, this would be my chest line. This would be my chest line. Of course, we all know this. So I'm trying to get my bust point, trying to get my bust point, my under bust, my waist point, my hip. I'll try to mark all of this. Okay, my hip, and then this will serve as the full length. Okay, so let me just quickly rule that. I don't want to waste time here, so that's why I'm just getting. Of course, when you're doing this for yourself or for your customer, your client, you have to use the accurate measurement. But for this particular tutorial, there's no need for me to actually work with any measurement. The most important thing is the style itself. Okay, so we have it here, and I'm just going to indicate that this is the chest line, this is the bust point, under bust point, waist point, the hip point, and then this is my full length. Okay, this is my full length. So the next thing I want to do is to get the circumference measurement. Of course, you know by now that your circumference is divided by 2. So on my chest line, I'm going to mark my bust point, my bust circumference rather, divided by 4. I hope that was what I said earlier. So your circumference measurement is divided by 4. Okay, so now usually on the chest line where I'm getting my bust measurement divided by 4, what I always do is, hi, welcome Gabriel. Please like this video so that more people can join. If you can hear me, please like the video so that more people can join. Also, if you can hear me, please put that in the comment that you can hear me so I can go on. I wouldn't like a situation whereby I'm just like talking to myself and nobody can actually hear what I'm saying. So can you do that? Thank you. All right, so please like the video. Don't forget so that more people can join. Like the video. It's going to be an impactful one. Please like the video so that more people can join. People who are interested in it can join. So here on the chest line, I have my um, bust measurements divided by 4. And usually when there is a sleeve, I usually used to add 1 inch plus 1 inch for ease. Okay, so on my under bust line, I would take the under bust measurement divided by 4. On my um, waist point, I'm going to take the waist circumference divided by 4. On the hip, I'm going to take the hip circumference divided by 4. And then on the full length, we're supposed to have a knee length here. Okay, so after your hip circumference, you're supposed to have a knee length. Okay, so I'm just going to get that sorted. So on your knee length, you're going to get your round knee, that's your knee circumference divided by 4, and that's what I'm going to put here. So like I said earlier, I'm literally working with just any measurement, right? The main goal is to achieve the style itself. I'm trying to manage my paper. So um, I'm connecting now. I'm connecting now. Alright, connect all the points together, connect my hip, from the hip, connect to, oh, I think my hip is too much. So I'll just connect, yeah. So I'll just connect to the length, okay? So this is the length. This is the length. Let me just add more so that it will be very obvious that it's the long dress. Pardon me. I want it to be very obvious that it's a long dress. So that's why I'm cutting from here to add more. Alright, so I want it to be very obvious that it's a long dress. Okay. So yeah. I'm going to now just using my straight ruler. I like to use the straight ruler for this to just connect. I like to use the straight ruler for this to just connect. Yeah. So it's quite obvious now that we have a longer dress, right? And that's what we have here. So this is what we have, and the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to leave this part, all right? So by now you already know the kind of neckline that you would want to have here. You can have a round neckline, a V neckline, I mean a square neckline, any neckline at all that you want to have it. You can have Queen Anne neckline, any neckline at all that you want to have here. So this is not the center of concentration, right? So we move on to the center of concentration, which is this area, Okay, so what I will do here at this point, this is the first method. I'm going to get my hip point. All right, I'm going to get my hip point. Um, let me quickly bring out the style to be sure of where the basking will stop. Please, so that I can be sure. Please like the video, so that more people can join. People who are interested in tutorials like this can join. Okay, so um yeah, I've just seen the style. All right. So we're going to go lower than our hip point. We're going to go lower than our hip point for the basket. Okay, so let's assume this is our hip point. It's still your choice. You can go lower or the exact hip point. So for the basking, came from my hip, from my waist point rather. I'm going to come down by 1.5 or 2 inches. 1.5 or 2 inches, okay? That's where the basking would start from. And what I will just do is using my straight ruler, I will just connect, okay? I'll just connect like this, all right? Connect like this. So it's still your choice. You can decide to go lower, like I said, you can decide to go lower if you want the basking to be lower. See, so you can make it this way. You can decide to go lower, maybe by 1 inch from your hip, or by 1.5. Okay. Sorry, my cover. All right. So that's that about this side. Okay. Then don't forget you're going to have a dart. All right. You're going to have a dart. You can decide to make it a princess cut. You can decide to make it a princess cut or a shoulder dart, a princess dart or a shoulder dart. Okay, so you can decide to make it a princess dart or a shoulder dart. All right, that's just depending on you and what you want. Okay, depending on you and what you want. So I'm gonna connect this. This is my apex, or my nipple to nipple divided by 2. That is how I got this. So from your center front, you're going to go in by your apex, which is your nipple to nipple. So from this point to this point, you're dividing it by 2, right? And you're going to mark it there. That's what I did here. And usually on the hip point, you would go up by 1.5 or 2 inches, right? And so from that point, that's where you're going to get your half inch on both sides, okay? Sorry, on your waist point, sorry, you're going to get your half inch on both sides. On your under bust, you're going to get your half inch on both sides. Now, this particular style, um, if you want to have cup, if you want to add cup to it, so you connect this way like this, right? Connect this way like this, and then just make a pencil mouth or a pencil tip. The same thing goes to this point, this place now where you went from your hip up by 1.5 or 2 inches. You're going to also connect it, giving it a pencil tip like this, okay? And that's basically what you have here. So, like I said, you can choose to have this kind of dart. You can also choose to have a princess dart. So if you're doing a princess dart, let me get my armhole. If you're doing a princess dart, let me get my armhole so that we can quickly touch that. So if you're using a princess dart for this dress, of course, you're going to now have like an extension here, whereby this point you will get what you have after getting your shoulder slope. Shoulder slope is usually 1 inch, alright? So shoulder slope is like this. After getting your shoulder slope, you get what you look for, what the midpoint of this point to this point, right? For me, it is 2 inches. That's where the midpoint is. That is for the straight line. Then for the curved line, you're going to go this way to get the full measurement. And get the midpoint. For me, it is 3 inches. So what I usually do is you can use your curved ruler to just connect like so back to your bust point, and then on this part too, you just find a way to connect. So this is your princess dart. You have your princess dart here, and of course you just connect this one to this place like this. Connect this one to this place, and then this one connect to this place. I wish I have a colored marker. I'll try and invest in that. Then on this part now, you don't just leave it this way. Usually one of them is usually longer than the side, either the center piece or the side. You must find out which one is longer by using your tape. Don't just use your head. By using your tape rule, you do that up to the under bust. What I got here is 7. Let me try what I have here on the side piece. I have 6.5, so I'm going to add half-inch here, and then just find a way to connect it like so, okay? So that's basically that for the princess cut. But if you're not doing the princess cut, you just want to hold the dart here like I did the first time. It is absolutely fine. Melissa, hi, welcome. Please do well to like this video. If you're watching the live, do well to like this video so that more people can join. Thank you very much. All right, so that's that about the darting. The next thing we want to do here is to take out this. You're going to replace your dart. Don't forget that you need to replace your dart. Remember, we've not added our sewing allowance. Of course, you can add that on your fabric. So you're just going to find a way to replace your dart and connect it this way, okay? Sorry, connect it this way. This is out. Connect it this way, alright? So, with that being said, we're going to cut this out. We'll cut this out, but this is not where our concentration is. So I'm just going to cut it out and focus on where our concentration is, okay? So like I said, you can choose to go lower from your hip, your basking, or use the exact one. So let's just assume I'm using the exact one, okay? So let's assume I'm using the exact one. So let me just cut this out. This is my upper body, and this is the lower body, alright? So this is the lower body. Take this out. So yeah, this is what we're working with. This is what we are going to work with. So the first thing we want to do is to do the slash and spread. The slash and spread method, how much dripping you want. It's depending on how much slashing you would do. I hope you understand what I mean. How much dripping you want to have, is dependent on how much slashing you will do. Your dripping is dependent on how much of your slashing you will do. Okay, so if you want like so much dripping, of course, you know that your slashing will be more than just one. Okay, so on this part, you can just come here and then do something like this. I'm using 1 inch. Okay, do something like this. I'm using 1 inch. Do something like this. Okay, I'm using 1 inch. All right, and let me say one more here. Okay, so I have this for my slash. So the next thing I'm going to do, if you notice, the lower part, that's the full length, is not straight. It is not straight. It has like a mermaid vibe, right? It has like a mermaid vibe. So from this point now where you stopped, you're going to go in like this. Just slant it. Did you see what I did there? So you just slant it. Do the same thing here. You just slant it. So also this place is dependent on you, how much wideness you want, how wide you want the lower part to be. Okay, so this is basically what we have, right? So the next thing you're going to do is to slash. All right, so you're going to slash. Now when slashing, you want to be very careful not to open everything. Okay, see the way when I got to this point I stopped. I didn't open everything. You want to be that careful and mindful. All right, you do the second one. Sorry, still. So you don't, the goal is not to open, to completely slash it. All right, the goal is not to completely slash it. The goal is not to completely slash it. You don't want to completely slash it. You just want to get to the tip a bit and then leave it that way. Alright, so we have this already slashed. Okay, so we have this already slashed. Now what you do is you just take it this way. So however, like I said, hear me, this is very important though. Oh my god. Please, can anybody hear me? I want to be sure that you can hear me before I go on. Please, if you can hear me, just say you can hear me so that I can go on. I was disconnected a while ago, so I want to be sure that I'm being heard. Please, if you can hear me, just put I can hear you so that I can go on, please. Let me just find a way to confirm myself. Let me just find a way to confirm. Oh, let me just find a way to confirm myself that I'm being heard. Mm, hello? Okay, okay, okay. Um, can't hear myself. Oh. this still working? Okay, I think I can hear myself now. Okay, I think I can hear myself now. All right. So, moving on. If you don't want it to be the drip to be too much here, this is how you go about it. Okay, this is how you go about it. So you have this here like this, and then on this part, you just open up. You just open up on this part. You just open up on this part. So remember, this one is going this way like this, as if it's falling off, right? This one is going this way, and then this one is opening this way. This one is opening this way. All right. So you get this, place it on your fabric. All right, place it on your fabric, open it down, place it on your fabric, and yeah, you have that draping thing going on. So the second part, yeah. Okay, let me quickly use this one. The second part, um, I'm going to place this to get my lower part again. So I want to quickly show you how to achieve the second part. How to achieve the second part. Trying to save my paper, honestly. I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot now, so I just want to save my paper. Pardon me if I'm managing too much, okay? I just want to save my paper. So I'll work with this. So let's just assume that this is the lower part, okay? Let's just assume that this is the lower part again. Let's just assume that this is the lower part. Alright? So let's just assume that this is the lower part and this is what it looks like. Now the other method is, this other one we went up like this. Now we're going to go down. We're going to go down. Okay? So you just, from this your tip now, you just go down like this. Okay? You just go down like this. I'm still using 1/1 inch. You just go down like this, like this, like this, like this. Okay? Just go down like this, but this place stays the same way. From this place now, you come out, you open up, you come out. And like I said earlier, it just depends on how wide you want this down is. Remember, the down is not straight. It is usually like a mermaid. You have this mermaid vibe. Okay, so let's go quickly. um we'll do the slash and spread method again. I hope you can see this. Get to this point, stop, go again, get to this point, stop, go again, get to this point, stop, go again. Now, you see this second method here? It will give you the draping of your dreams, like the kind of drape that you want. It will give it to you. Alright? So this is the reverse of the first one. So it's still the same way, open this way, open this way. Did you see how this place is getting curved? Did you see it? Can you see the difference from that first one and this one? So this is another method, okay? This will give you a very sweet drape, like a very sweet drape. And this particular drape is the exact type, like the thumbnail we have, alright? So this one goes this way. So when you're placing it on your fabric, remember to place it this way. And of course, like I said, how much draping you want will be dependent on how wide you go, okay? So this is it. You just take it this way, cut this way, and join back, right? And join back. Now on this place, remember I said it's not a straight length. The down part is not straight, okay? So we're going to achieve that as well. So when you get to this tip, you stop. Don't cut it all. When you get to this tip, you stop. Don't cut it all. The same thing with this. When you get to this tip, please stop. Don't cut it all. So as this is going this way, alright, as this is going this way, this is going this way, right? Can you see it? As this is going this way, this will come out this way. This will come out this way. So this particular thing now is what will make it have that mermaid look. This is coming out this way, okay? So from the center front, that's where you get this lash. So this is coming out this way, this is going this way. So when so let me just place it. Let me quickly do the placement so we get to see. So let me quickly do the placement. So this is what we have. Let me quickly do the placement, right? So this is what we have. This is what we have, okay? And this is where you will need your paper tape. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Let me quickly do the placement. Alright, so using my paper tape, I'm going to hold this down. Okay, I'm going to hold this down like so. And then on this part, alright, remember this is your center front. So you want to place it to get to this point here, so that this place is closed. This place has to be closed. This place has to be closed. This place has to be closed, okay? Alright, so here you have it. And now on this part, you're going to spread this way. You're going to spread this way. You're going to spread this way. So you spread this way. And then using your paper tape, you're going to pin it. Just looking for the best way to pin it down. Okay? So pin it down, pin it down, pin it down. So I'll tape it down like so, okay? Don't mind me, I'm trying to hurry up. Okay, so I'll take it down like so, right? Just cut the excess tape at the center front because that's too much. Right, so let's assume that this other bigger paper is my fabric. So this is how you're going to place it, okay? This is how you're going to place it. And then cut out. Please don't forget that when you're cutting on your fabric, you're giving half of an inch here. You need to leave half of an inch. You need to leave half of an inch for joining. Okay, you need to leave half of an inch for joining. So this way, you take this way now, like so. Take this way. Half of an inch, and then please, your sewing allowance. I didn't put any sewing allowance here, but on your fabric, you're going to have your sewing allowance. So what you do here now is just to start draping, right? So you start closing up, start closing up, start closing up like so. All right, start closing up, start closing up, start closing up, start closing up. See, you see that as you are closing up, you're getting the drape that you need, and this place too is also coming back to shape, like coming back to shape. So you start closing up, start closing up, start closing up, like so, like so. All right, so yeah, so you close up this way. Now once that is done, you already have this, you already have this, this is, you already have this. So this is basically what it is. This place is back to normal, and this place has its drape. All right, so That's basically what it is. You sew on your machine. Of course, you know this is going to be times two for the side, for the two sides. Of course, you know that it's going to be times two for the two sides. That's what I mean is when you're placing on fold. That is what I mean. No, me, I did singly. But when you're placing it on your fabric, you're placing it on fold like this and do whatever you need to do and spread like that. You're placing on fold. Alright? Remember this place, the center front has to stay intact. The center front has to stay intact, like so, okay? So that's basically what it is, and yeah, you have it. So you have it here, you just get this aligned together. You get this aligned together. So you have your drape, you have your hip going on, and then this place to open up. This place to open up here. So this is basically it. I hope you can see it. So this is basically it here. And we're done. I'm trying to rush, honestly. I'm trying to rush this because I'm currently using the generator, and honestly speaking, I don't know how long it's going to last. So I don't want the gen to go off on me, and um I'm still teaching, like drafting. Yeah, so that's why I'm trying to hurry. All right. So thank you very much for joining. This is So with Oma, also known as Oma Ideal Luxury, and I hope this video, this tutorial, has been impactful. Do well to subscribe to the channel. Do well to like and leave a comment. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. Till we see in our next live. Bye bye.